darn, forgot to record. I'll have to
I
remember that
guess
next time.
this would be the famous lost final episode that never got it got broadcast, but nobody recorded it. Nobody's got it. They finally found a tape of it in grainy 8-track in Australia 20 years later.
Start recording it just at the okay, great job everyone.
Really, really satisfying.
Had fun.
Couldn't have possibly. I mean, this is nowhere.
Who could have seen that final twist?
There's no.
I mean, holy God.
Anyway, so no, everything is running, and all right. So session 61. To be named. I should probably. Whoever's watching this right now is getting spoilers. Okay. Let's get to. I don't even know where we should go. Let's go back to here for now. Oh, easy. There we go. All right. This is a weirdly dated picture. Okay. So go ahead.
I was gonna say I've tried to work on a new one. Motivation has been low. Energy has been low.
It's totally fine. Actually,
weird dating is our team thing though, so it's fine.
Yeah. Honestly, though, this is probably just as well since this is sort of where things were left, if not where we're currently doing anything. So about 2 days is the time frame that we were given to get things squared away and get prepped for, the shenanigans down in Disney World. I've got love letters. I'm not going to jump immediately into those. Actually, something that somebody was, I think maybe it was, I don't know. It might have been Bill that got started on this. I don't really remember. It might have been something that you shared from the Demi-Humans conversation. I'm not sure. But I liked it wherever I read it, and I'm going to kind of go around this. So we've got 2 days of sort of getting prepared, researching, conversations, avoiding the topic and going to the movies, what have you. So I'm going to kind of go around and ask just a few questions about what's been going on in the last couple of days, but I'm kind of coming at this backwards. So I will start with Alicia, and my question is, who do you want to see some of that 2 days about, other than you on the team?
I would like to see some of those 2 days about Harry.
Harry? Okay. And Summer, who else is involved in this? Who's there with Harry? It can be you, it can be somebody else, but who on the team is with Harry?
I'd like to nominate Adam.
Adam, where are you guys?
I know this is the question I do not have a good answer for it.
Yeah, I gave you time to prep the love letters, but this is kind of.
Yes.
You figure out this. We're gonna loop.
I was gonna say, the quickest answer I got is Harry's house.
Okay. So did you just stop in, or?
Yeah.
Harry, what are you guys doing?
I would say eating.
That's the easy answer.
What are you doing besides eating?
What are you doing besides eating? That's probably a better question.
More eating.
Eating with the other hand.
Harry, at least, is downing bags of chips like there is no tomorrow, which there very well might not be. And I don't know. I would say probably playing video games.
Okay, I like it. Now, what kind of video games? Like, is it combat stuff? Is it like a racing car game? Are you networked in with Otto and doing Forza 7?
Mario Kart.
Mario Kart. Keep it light. Keep it low key. Who's winning?
Those turtles.
Who's winning?
It's me, Adam, Radiance, yeah? Summer?
Oh, is Summer there too?
I don't know. Sorry, I had to step away for a moment.
Summer just dictated who was there. Summer's not actually there.
Okay.
Unless you want Summer to be there.
Unless you want Summer to be there, in which case Summer's there.
I don't know. Probably the Donkey Kong CPU managed to get ahead right at the end.
So in between games, during games, whatever, and then this is the question for Harry, what are you guys talking about? You can say nothing in particular, school, whatever. Or important stuff. But you call it, Harry.
Mundane things, like the how Jordan is doing, or the math test that happened the other day.
Adam, what are you guys not talking about?
Adam is decidedly not talking about, hey, so how do I explain everything that happened just, in the last couple of days to my parents? Which is really what he came over here to talk about, and he's been decidedly avoiding it.
So you came over and just hung out, which is kind of not a thing that you've done, but are doing. Interesting. Harry, what are you not talking about? Because you're talking about all these mundane things. What are you not talking about?
Not talking about my plan to leave the menagerie.
Even though that's kind of out there.
It's out there, but just avoiding bringing it up since.
And
yeah, Adam and I are the last two remaining originals.
Charlotte.
No, right, Charlotte. Sorry, I was looking at the cartoon images at the bottom, and there's just.
So okay. So you're not talking about the fact that you're leaving. Adam's not talking about talking to his parents. It's all mundane crap. It's all math tests, something like that. Whose is the most pressing thing here? Adam, do you leave it like this? Do you just never say anything?
Yes.
Yeah.
And it's probably like right after, like, there's that one thing, or there's that quick little shot of, like, the CPU beating both Adam and Harry, and both of them are like, bleh. You want to do another race? Hey, Harry, and Adam just non-sequinters right into. Hey, Harry, how do your parents deal with all the weird stuff that goes on?
Just kind of goes just like this is not a big question. It's what do they do if you miss curfew? Harry, what do you do?
Well, weird stuff just in general, or
Like once life
Imagine
just
stuff.
becomes weird stuff. Does the weird stuff become normal after a while?
yeah, a little bit. I mean, you can only see the city get invaded so many times before robot bug cockroaches don't really surprise you anymore. It's still weird, but the bar has been lowered. Or the bar has risen. How are
So,
your parents taking the weird stuff?
Ooh.
I'm worried that they're not going to like the latest bit of weird stuff.
Harry, that would imply that they don't know about it.
Yeah,
Just calling that out as like a.
yeah.
I told you guys first.
Do you want me to talk with them for you or with you or stand behind them and make weird faces?
Well, that just makes it weirder. No, but I like, it might help to have like a friend there or something when I go talk to him.
Yeah, I always got your back.
Yeah.
Harry, why don't you roll a comfort and support? I have no idea what your mundane is right now. Is it awesome?
Oh!
It's good.
Oh my gosh.
That's the only good roll I'm going to have all night.
That may be
Watch.
and it.
But at least Adam will be feeling comforted and supported when the world bursts into flames.
I think it is demonstrably the only good comfort and support you have ever rolled, like bar none.
Not true.
No, he
comforted-
did. Go ahead.
I comforted and supported Leo when he was breaking chairs and stuff with the bag of chips.
Oh, that's right.
Mhm.
Yeah. Yep, that's right. That was when the chips worked. Okay, so Harry offers the I'll be there for you. I got your back. Adam, what do you do? How do you respond to that?
Adam's just gonna be like, thanks. I mean, after everything that happened, I know, like, am I scary now? Like, changing the whole world to make it the way you wanted it kind of seems like something the villain does.
You're playing as Princess Peach. If I'm not trembling in fear at the sight of you.
I'm
That's what
sorry.
Jordan always wants me to pick, so it's just Squid I pick all the time.
That
I rest my
is-
case.
You're a pushover for a 10-year-old. So, or a 7-year-old rather. Or 6 or whatever she is. Harry, that was the best comeback ever to that. Am I a monster? Dude, you're playing Princess Peach right now. That is that is so solid as a comeback. Oh god, that's great. Okay. Harry, does that count as kind of opening up? You think? Did he open up, kind of reveal some of himself there with that?
Yeah,
Okay.
definitely.
All right. So I think we know the routine on this at this point, but comfort and support, if it's a 10, Adam, you can clear a condition. Or shift labels. What's it? On a hit to here, they mark potential, clear a condition, or shift labels if they open up to you, which they did. So you can shift your labels or clear a condition. Adam, it's up to you. On a 10 plus, we can add team to the pool, or Mercury, you can clear a condition yourself. Do you have a condition to clear?
Amazingly enough, after the grand purge of conditions last session, I do still have a condition, so
Okay, do you want to clear that
I think
condition?
I
or-
will.
All right, you
This
go ahead and
seemed like a good battle to go into without conditions.
Conditionless.
what was your condition left? What was left?
Guilty.
Yeah, I like that. You kind of step up and say, I got this. And honestly, going and talking to offering to go and talk to somebody's parents is scarier than, yeah, let's go to Disney World and fight gods.
Well, the worst thing that could happen with that is we all die. I mean,
Yeah. You could be
We
mortified.
could have gotten killed, or worse, expelled.
Anyway, all right. So I was checking to make sure my daughter was on the thing. She's like, who are you even talking to? All right. Very cool. Now there's other stuff that could follow on from the scene, but we're going to cut that one. And we're going to jump. I probably don't have, let me look at my clock. I don't want to necessarily, we may not be able to go through everybody, but I do want to pick out. Does anybody have any particular requests that they have, like, ooh, me, I definitely want to see X? That they just have, I really, really want to see what prep looks like, or what the intervening 2 days look like for X.
I don't think that we have to play through it too much, and Margie can say she's not interested, but I feel like both Summer and Ghost Girl could be sitting at a coffee shop with No, listening to her say, there's so much been going on in my life right now, I can't believe it. And we're just looking at her like,
That's so
Really?
funny. Yeah, I mean, this is the first time that honestly No wouldn't have picked up on everything that's going on with you guys. Honestly. But her life has been a hot mess.
Ha 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 ha.
Ha 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 ha. In this essay, I will explode. No, I think that that's just absolutely, honestly, that's another way. So rather than answering this question, if you choose, you say, I want to see this person and this person in a scene. That's great. Alternately, I will accept this little, little vignettes like what Bill just threw out, where it's like, I picture something like such and such. Now, you say you're sitting at a coffee shop. I do want to ask something. Is it your coffee shop? Is it like at Blitzkrieg, or is it at like some other place? Are you on break, or are you just there because you kind of habitually go there now, or where were you?
we'll go to one of Ghost Girl's habitual picks.
Okay, so you kind of met up. You kind of met up there. That's cool.
Bill, I'm disappointed in you.
What?
You could have said one of
One of
Ghost
Ghost
Girl's
Girl's
regular
haunts.
haunts.
Oh God.
I was trying to be
Wow.
nice.
Wow. Wow. Charlotte, did you want to add anything to that little scene there, or no? Just that scene. Or is it just time out with the girls?
I think it's a little bit time out with the girls. I think it's also sort of it will be interesting in that Charlotte's drinking hot chocolate, which is not her normal.
Interesting. That is interesting. More of a comfort food kind of a thing?
For nostalgia.
Oh, okay. This for what? I'm curious now. Nostalgia
Well,
for what?
it feels like, we're sort of coming full circle here back
Ah.
to, you know, to her creation, but also, sort of thinking about the setting. Time I was with Everard,
Oh
blew
yeah.
his gazebo apart.
Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. No, that's good. I like that. Okay. I like that. Harry, do you have any scene requests or little vignette, little snapshots of the 2 days? It can be you too. I mean, that's totally fine. Doesn't have to be though.
I don't think so.
I don't think so. All right. Charlotte, any requests? Or I can't help but get this image out of my head.
No, but I'll give you a setting as to where Charlotte is for a big chunk of this time,
Okay.
which is in the Grove.
Okay.
Choose.
All right.
I lied slightly.
Yeah. Okay.
I think this doesn't need to be fleshed out or anything, but I think in the montage that is going by, there would be one with Harry and Andy kind of talking some that ends with Andy hitting him.
Like hitting him? Or
Hitting him lightly and then makeup hug.
ah, like because he's being flippant or
Don't
because
Don't do anything stupid.
oh, that kind of a thing. Sure. Yeah, that's all good.
Good hunting.
Are you talking to the statues or just sitting with them, Charlotte, or is it what are we seeing you do? Are you like sort of animatedly speaking with them? Are you just being there with them, or what are you doing?
Mostly I'm just keeping them company, being with them, trying to, their presence.
Sure. Who walks in on you at some point? Harry? And how much do you need to put your face on right at the worst possible? I mean, how the worst possible time is this when he walks in terms of your composure?
Can't see me making faces.
Sorry,
Um,
this is an audio medium at this point.
I will say that it's obvious that she's upset, but trying to put on a good face.
I see. Harry, what do you do? I think it's a pretty clear. The scene's pretty well set. You know, but she seems pretty pretty wrought by everything they're going through or have gone through.
I think I come over and just sit down and kind of munch on a bag of chips and offer some
Of course.
without saying anything.
Of course. One of the statues, and you're pretty sure it's Mari, is like, he really does always offer food, doesn't he? Don't you? That's wow.
Yeah, if I wasn't a ghost, I'd probably be gaining weight.
If you weren't a speedster, Harry would be my alternate superhero name is Juggernaut.
Blake's gonna say Balloon Man, but okay.
Do you say anything when you offer the chips, or you just kind of offer them to her and
Just offer.
what do you do, Charlotte? What do you say? What?
I'm sorry. You need to look at the chips
I'm-
you're being offered.
Oh. Wait, where did it go? Oh, Google Images. Haunted ghost pepper. It's a good thing you're
They're
very,
Andy's favorite.
very nice. It's a good.
Perfect.
And
They're
it's a
perfect.
good thing you're already dead. I mean, damn.
Hey, I do
Uh,
still have some taste.
There's
Not after you've eaten those.
yeah. There's a pepper they were talking about. It's not for eating. That's like
For
45,000.
industrial use only.
No, it is. It's like 45,000 times hotter than a habanero, something like that. It's something like 1,000,000,000 Scoville or something ridiculous. It's obscene, and they don't. It's not for consumption, but it can be. They've been using it in animals to like apply to points of pain because it literally burns the nerve endings so they can't sense pain anymore, and that leaves them pain free for up to 5 months while the nerve endings grow back.
Oh my god.
It's, I mean, gah. Anyway,
So I take a chip, then I make a face. I grab the bag from Harry and look at it, hand it back, give him a quirky smile, and just put my hand on his leg, and we just enjoy.
oh, Harry. Now, I think this is a comfort sport. That's neither here nor there. But is that simple gesture? Would you call that opening up? Like responding to? It doesn't have to be a lot sometimes.
I think so because it's not like trying to move away or play it.
Well, and Charlotte's not
Just like push the emotions and stuff away. It's
to a certain extent, it's kind of like Charlotte.
comforting.
Yeah, it's kind of like Charlotte's not one for just like randomly laying a hand on a leg. How risque, and it's really kind of, it's really quite a modern gesture, all things considered. I don't even know if she has conditions to clear. She doesn't really, but if you'd like, you can certainly roll to comfort and support. Oh wait,
Or I can turn it around on him.
oh yeah, you could. Yeah, if you wanted to, you'd probably need to say something
just-
about it. But
Yep.
I'm sorry, before you do, because I'm going to forget, Adam, you asked Harry if he's scared, if he thought you were scary. That was one of your triumph moves, wasn't it?
It is.
It is. I'm sorry. I caught it and then I forgot about it.
I usually try to lean into those moves, especially for the comfort and supports.
Sure.
Because they're very natural off of those.
Mm-hmm. So what's that one read? How's that read?
Oh, so ask them if there are any fear in their eyes when you look at, or when they look at you.
Yeah.
Harry said no.
Yeah.
So I take +1 forward and mark potential.
Yay. All right. Sorry. I just wanted to make sure I didn't continue to forget that.
Yep.
So Margie, now that you have time to ponder this, and I'm giving you a moment, if you're going to flip this around on Harry, again, I don't know if he has, well, here's the thing. Harry doesn't have any conditions either. So it's really, this might just be just a nice moment that doesn't mechanically necessarily do anything, which is fine.
Somebody could shift somebody could
Oh, yeah,
shift
you could
their
shift.
labels though.
Yeah, if the comfort and support doesn't necessarily need clear conditions, you could actually get potential from it, shift labels, any of that stuff. So,
There's okay. Or my team move kind of leads to a
which as
but
Mike.
yeah, that's a little bit longer term.
Well, no, that's fine. Let me. Where's the team move? When you share a triumphant civil issues, only take influence over them. If you show them meaningful affection, physical, I think that counts though. And you already have influence over Harry, but you could take influence and then shift his labels if you were so inclined.
Just thinking of the second one, which gives me a
Share
+4 if I
Yeah. Share vulnerability or weakness with someone. So I guess sort of like what you're worried about or what you're concerned about or what you're thinking about or what's bothering you right now about the that's got you wound up about the statues. Any of those.
I mean, my main worry is that, I've done this to, help people and help spirits, and, I don't worry about hurting myself, but to see so many of our friends hurt.
What do you do, Harry?
But we're gonna help them. We're gonna make it so that this doesn't happen, and I think even just right now you're helping them. I mean,
Well, that's why I'm here.
That's good. What do you think, Harry, is the thing that you think Charlotte should focus on doing, sort of, in the big, like, sort of confrontation with Infinity and the Magus? And the reason I'm kind of, the move sort of like when they sort of tell you what to do. So like, I want to give Charlotte something actionable that she can kind of have in her back pocket to choose to do or not do.
yeah.
So the mechanic is that if I
Yeah.
follow your advice,
Yeah, you get a +1 forward to do that thing. And it could be something as simple as like, don't worry about Infinity. Handle the Magus. He said like it was simple.
I was going to say, don't worry about other people. I'll make sure they stay safe. You do what you need to help our friend.
I know you lock Savior really high, but I got this. No, anyway.
Okay.
All right. So that's kind of sitting there, Charlotte. You focus on the Magus, get +1 for that, and you'll get potential when you do it, because I know you're really scrambling for advances right now. Anyway. So that's really good. I like that. You kind of like a little thing with Andy. Got that. The thing. Adam, any requests?
I do, and it's going to be an oddball one.
Okay, I'm good. I'm good with oddball.
Link and Jason getting everything prepped.
Oh, aha! That makes me feel all warm and fuzzy inside. I like it. Okay, so guys,
Super geniuses go.
Yeah, step out of your head, step out of your current heads for a second, and step into those things. And you don't necessarily.
Jason's always in my head. Don't
yeah,
worry about
it can be a conversation, or it could just be sort of narrating the montage scene of them doing stuff.
Yeah, I kind of see this sort of the high-tech equivalent of the A-Team construction montage. Welding torches and microplanes and molecular lathes and bits and pieces and blinking lights and whirling computer tapes and lots of cans.
I think we're going to go around the table on this, but first, Leo, what do you want to add to the sort of the montage stuff there that we're not seeing yet? I've got something I want to throw in there, but
I do too.
Oh, good.
Sorry, I'm trying to wrangle a cat that's being overly aggressive here.
Okay. I'm gonna throw in a thing there before we hand it to Leo. Then, while all that stuff's going on, there's at least one shot, probably just the one shot, of like they're working in this big space, and they're lots of tables and pointing and gesticulating and stuff. You see kind of back in the back of this big, like it's like a warehouse space or something like that. You actually see a phoenix, like sort of in bot form, halfway kind of sitting crouched, and then like holding on to a rafter, like crossbeam, and leaning forward and kind of watching, not really watching the tech, but watching like the arc welder sparks and stuff. And it's back far enough, it's not really, but for some reason, there's one, lurking in the workshop, whichever, apparently one of the Quill workshops, kind of lurking in the background, not really interacting with anybody, paying attention, but just kind of watching. So they're around. I kind of want to get them start showing up in the background here and there, because they're a crazy wild card. Now Leo.
So Leo's got to do the thing that Leo's always kind of done, which is both mess with and sort of in a roundabout, can't really admit to it way, support Jason, or at least, let him know that Leo's on his side. And the question that he has for Jason while there's some delicate bit of operation going on is, so have you guys talked about marriage?
And it's a terrible thing when you spit take coke onto an arc welder, because
this is one jagged like arc welder.
Because then the coke fumes go up your your nose.
And you're gonna get all sorts of forge scale on that weld.
Yeah, I was gonna say arc welders can skip. There's like this little like Morse code skip across the face of the plate. I don't think you need an answer for that. I just we just did that for the spit take. Honestly. You guys talked about marriage, and then turning in like shock.
Yes.
That's awesome. Adam, what did you have?
At some point, Adam's gonna have to drop off the Keynome with them.
Right. All right. And what's up? What does do you help with sort of integrating that as the power source, or you just kind of stand back and let the big brains do it?
Really, for Adam, it's going to be like, the less I'm involved with this thing at this point, the better. Like.
Yeah. And I think there's a little bit of that where you like leave and you're like walking out of the building and you kind of look up, and up about, say, 150 yards, meters up in the air, there's like the three Concordance guys kind of watching, and you kind of raise your hand and they kind of nod and sort of fly off. Not coldly or anything like that. It's just, there's a lot to talk about. They're just, kind of waiting for the building to explode. It didn't explode, so they're gonna call it a job well done for the moment.
Leo's not gonna let Adam leave without having him a coupon for French fries somewhere.
Very nice. Harry or Charlotte, do you want to throw anything in there? Like bits of this prep, because this is a pretty big piece of the plan, is make sure they can't leave.
I'll drop by and ask if they, sort of anything, tying it to the ghostly dimension things.
Any thoughts on that, boys?
Yeah, we're going to say that we're creating what is essentially a synthetic portal, and we need her to spectrally position the Keynome halfway through it. Exactly.
Oh, you're going to actually have them, like, you're going to have her shift it kind of into the
like it.
Into the thing. I'm not going to have you roll for this, because a lot of the rolls that happen with this device are going to happen once we get in there.
If we use it.
Yeah, once you actually use it. I don't need to have one of the, like, when you decide to hotwire a Keynome roll. We've got that move. We've done that move. I'm not doing that move again right now.
I'm also going to say I think Leo's one of the few people who successfully rolled that move.
Yes.
So this is not.
Yeah.
Jason is kind of letting Leo take the point on this because it's his idiosyncratic
And also,
time-space technology.
you haven't had the
but-
you haven't had the best luck interacting with key gnomes directly.
No. I'll handle the arc welder and supplying parts and kind of general fab kinds of stuff.
And theoretical science
and
and stuff like that.
Theoretical this and that. But
As part of the montage, are both of you guys helping explain the use of the thing to Summer, or are you staying back? Or Jason, are you staying back out of it? Leo, is Numa also there? Is Otto also there? Is it just you and Summer kind of like working this over and sort of doing dry runs on it, that kind of thing? Or
I want to say that both of these boys are talking to this girl until their awkwardness level peaks out, and then the other one taps in, and then
that's
he
awesome.
can't talk for too long. So they're kind of trading off back and forth.
So there's a lot there with
Oh, there's a lot of shared history. So
Yeah.
there.
and as we've
it
established,
keeps coming back to each of them saying, you need to be really careful with this. I mean,
Yeah.
you're gonna be okay. You need to be. I know you're gonna be okay. I mean, you got this. But I mean, be careful.
So
Leo,
Arya's
what do
here.
you think?
Arya's here. She's in the background. She's just rolling her eyes like, really?
yeah. Well, and the problem is, I mean, sort of the challenge of it is that you're building hypertech, and hypertech is tricky to manipulate when you are the person who built it, and and you get even more complicated when not, and even more so when Newmans are very, very smart, but they're not hyper geniuses. Leo's established that, so some of this is kind of, there's a point at which, in the schematics, there's sort of not really, but there's the equivalent of a black box, and then
a miracle occurs.
a miracle occurs, and then the thing comes out the other side, and it's like, and you just have to make sure that you steer it correctly through that juncture. Well, you don't tell me what the juncture looks like. Technically,
Keep pressing the blue button.
I mean, technically the schematics exist in 6 dimensions, so the drawing does have that. It's just you can't see it.
It's more of an art than a science.
Yeah. So you just kind of have to feel it. That's not the most comforting. So yeah, there's a lot of drilling and that kind of thing. That's good. That's a good lead in. Okay. Anybody have anything? I like that. That's a lot. That's really, really good. Thank you. So that's kind of what the prep starts to look like. Anybody got anything else they want to throw in before we jump into the love layers and kind of find ourselves down at Disney World with everything going haywire?
So most of Alicia's time is taken
Because we never even really got to that. Yeah.
in a photo montage that looks like a combination of the scenes in Aliens where all of the Marines are kind of doing their final battle prep,
Kidding up.
and Ripley on the elevator taping everything together.
It's
for
not
the
hodgepodge.
confrontation.
It isn't as hodgepodge. I mean, there's some of that, but Aegis has got the stuff together now, and the stuff they don't have together, where there is a bit of a montage in like a couple places where the tech is kind of throwing up their hands on it, side going, well, I don't know, I can't, it's not ready. And Parker like yelling and pointing, like, you get back in that room and provide it, kind of, and kind of hangdog like, yes, ma'am, kind of,
And she can't use all the functions, but if she expressed any sort of interest, Leo would offer her his suit as well, or any of the tech they're in.
She's looks like she's about to make a snarky remark, and she stops and she says, "Thanks, but no thanks. But could you run that schematic on the time-space widget past me one more time? I have an idea."
He will be treating her as a peer on all this stuff.
Okay.
So, yeah.
Okay. Cool. I have an idea, she said, eyeing her love letter.
Maybe.
Speaking of which, let's jump into that, since we have them to jump into. I linked it in Roll20 so we can get it up. and some of this may be, Adam, you're the first one in here, and some of this may be colored a little bit by, the more important thing is the fact that the offer was made.
Hmm.
But some of this may be colored by the conversation you had with Harry and whether or not we decided to roll that in there or anything like that.
I have thoughts and ideas.
Okay, so 2 days. 2 pretty long days around the house with everything feeling kind of awkward. You can rewrite the universe, but can you fix this? Roll mundane. On a 10 plus, pick 2. On the 7 to 9, pick 1. Oh dear. Oh my God.
Wow.
-2?
-2?
Give a -2 on
Why?
mundane?
Hold on. No.
No? Okay.
That is taking into account my angry.
You think it would apply?
I don't think so. Not over 2 days, I would hope.
Okay, so okay.
It's a 7 without that?
Uh-huh.
It's a 7 without it. Oh, so I see what you did. You just hit the
I just hit the
mundane
button.
and you're mundane. Okay. All right. No, because this isn't. I mean, very specifically, how those penalties are written is to screw with the moves. So it doesn't. I'm not having you roll comfort and support. I'm not having you roll any of that stuff. This is a different thing. So I'm not going to have that apply, which is fine. So we get a 7. Oh, so you have choices. Yikes. Okay.
Yes, I do.
So I'm going to go through these because I want them recorded for posterity. Your dad has a night off and finds you in the room still up, staring at the wall, thinking. He asks what's going on, and you just tell him. We won't go into the whole thing. Your mom is waiting when you get home from school. Dad has Jordan at taekwondo or gymnastics or swimming or something. She asked you to help her bake tahini cinnamon sticky buns. And as you're wrapping up, there's a knock on the door. And late at night, you're still up. Suddenly, Jordan's standing next to your desk, looking sleepy tousled, but awake. Which one do you pick?
I am picking the middle one.
Oh, really? Okay.
Uh-huh.
Your mom is waiting.
However,
Yes.
if I could,
Yes.
I want Adam to slightly force the situation a little bit worse.
Oh, okay.
Because it would be the Concordance kids coming over as the Concordance kids. And Adam bringing them.
Okay. All right. I can roll with that. So
Because-
you just kind of like use the concordance dialer in your head to say, come on over here. Like you let them know once you saw like what was kind of happening at the house and decided they were going to show up or invite them over.
It's basically going to be like explaining like, hey, mom, dad, it's sort of like, while Jordan's away, it's like, mom, we're going to have a talk. Also, some friends are going to come over.
So she stalls as long as she can, kind of focusing on the cooking and asking you about school and all this other stuff. And finally, like when they're there and she's like, and she wants to say no powers, but at the same time, she's frustrated by the fact that if she says this while they're sitting there, it's very rude. And she kind of checks the clock to make sure that we're not about to get a Jordan arrival, and then invites them in. Hey. So if her mom's directive in this, the way it was originally written up, was talking about nothing but normal stuff, is this like explaining the concordance to mom?
Basically, because I imagine this whole conversation going on with Adam as Concord, where it's like, I imagine at some point she's like, can you just turn back into normal? It's like, mom, this is part of me now. Like, we're going to have to get used to this at some point. Jordan's gonna find out eventually.
Meanwhile, Jordan is drawing fan fiction of the transformation sequence from Summer to Radiance, like in a room and hiding them under, like. hiding them in her backpack. She's only showing them to the kids at school. It's fine. Luckily, she's 7, so they're not identifiable as anybody. Anyway, okay. I'm going to ask you. Oh boy. Now this time angry will apply. I'm going to ask you to roll a comfort and support on your mom.
I am perfectly fine with that.
Let's see what we got.
Oh boy.
Oh no. Ah.
All right. What were the stakes for that one?
Well, there's a couple different things here. The stakes were, I think what happens is, because man, I have no trouble imagining this in my head, but there's a point at which there is your mom kind of just is going to end up like kind of head down, not defeated, but just like looking down and eyes shut and kind of shaking her head back and forth like, nope, 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 and kind of pushes herself up. I'm sorry. No, no. This is not happening. It's not happening here. It's not in my house. It's not happening. This is not, we're not, I'm sorry, but you're all going to have to go, and like basically ordering them out of the house. And, but, saying something inadvertently horrible as they're, standing up like, and look like normal people when you leave, kind of thing. Now that's what's at stake. I'm not entirely sold on it because I see ways that we could get this to less horrible, but
No, I am fine with that.
if you're good with it, then we're good with it. We don't have to, because Harry can come racing in, the Concordance can help, but that's where mom ends up. And I think she's going to say something that's going to attempt to shift your labels as soon as they're out the door.
That is fine.
Okay. All right. You took a 7 on the actual roll and turned it into a 6 anyway. Well.
Maybe your mom will push up your mundane.
Good luck.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Now,
okay.
Based on all this, I just have like one scene after this that I totally just want to do. But
okay, that's fine.
That's fine.
That's fine. So let me just look at. Okay, so they shift back. Actually, which one of them can teleport?
Technically, they kind of have to do it as a group.
Oh, okay. Never mind then.
I was gonna say it would have to be Red that does it.
Okay, Red's not going. Okay, so Red doesn't want to shift back, and so what he says instead is, "No one will see us leave, Mrs. Amari, but we can't expose our identities to civilians." And they all kind of join hands, and they're looking not at her, but at you. And, Red's expression is, "Why did you waste our time on this?" And Blue's expression is, "Dude, I would not trade places for you for the world, but man, I feel really sorry that you're going through this." And Green's expression is, actually, Green isn't the expression so much. Just before they fade out, says, "Thanks for the sticky buns, Mrs. Amari. They were very good." Because talking to the angry parent that's kicking you out of the house is the brave thing. So, and trying to be polite. If this is the way it's going to be, if this is the way you want to move forward, where you bring this kind of thing into our house without any consideration for the impact it will have on our family, we're going to have a talk. And she walks out of the room. She is shifting danger up and mundane down because you're acting dangerously to her and disregarding your mundane life. You can resist it, of course, but that's what.
Actually, she can't shift my mundane.
Oh,
it's
she
locked.
can't? Ah.
But since the danger was the important part, I
Yeah.
would say find a more
Okay, how can I tweak that? I forgot that was Monday was locked. No, here's the thing. I hear what you're saying. But an equally important thing is the fact that the way Adam sees his sort of capacity for his mundane life is not something his mom can affect. And he needs to see that and realize that the words don't have the impact they might have otherwise, because he knows where his mundane life fits in things, good or bad, and it's kind of a mix of both, really, when I look at that score. But that's not the fact that she doesn't get that is more indicative of where he's come than the fact that she feels like he's a danger. So that's the thing that he's
I
left
agree
with
with
at the end.
that.
Okay, are we good with that?
That sounds great.
All right. Yeah. I mean, there's certain things where he's far enough along, he's not going to be moved by the words of his of the adults in his life, his parents or whatever. Good stuff. You had one more little bit?
Oh yeah, this is kind of like the last little thing before we go full Disney World.
Okay.
So
okay, just before we go full Disney World. Okay, we'll jump back to that. Because we're going to be progressing forward in time with these notes. So if we get to that point where you're like, this is about where that should happen, just chime in. Dear Ghost Girl, yours is much simpler. There's no rolling for you on this one, Margie. You and Harry got a buy on the dice. In a way, parts of this Disney World remind you of home, your original home, the one that's part of dream and part lie, the home that the mages took from you and replaced with a cemetery. It's time for a reckoning. You just need to decide what you're going to do. I'm going to undo this, lower your danger, raise your freak. Take +1 forward on your next roll to unleash your powers. I'm going to stop you specifically. Swap your freak score and your danger score and take +1 forward to directly engage, or you need to stop this. Swap your freak and your superior and take +1 forward to provoke, which also stacks with any influence bonuses you might have on, the mages. So, TTFN.
You're muted.
Go ahead, finish.
TTFN editorial. Ta-ta for now. So it's pretty straightforward. I'm giving you basically the opportunities out there to shift, in some cases, fairly dramatically your labels in almost a wearing the mask kind of way from the James book a little bit, but shifting your labels toward what you plan to do as your power move. Just in a question of what's your power move going to be.
So my question was, is this a permanent change that you're thinking of?
Permanent insofar as anything in masks stats are permanent. So yeah, when I'm saying swap your freak and your danger and danger would literally change places. Same thing with the superior / freak option. So in those situations, it's like, I'm going to go in guns blazing. I'm going to directly engage. I want to swap this. I need my danger higher if I'm going to go in and knock the crap out of the mages. I'm going with that option. If I need to provoke, I need my superior to be like high. So I'm going to go with that and take the provoke bonus kind of thing. And but again, it's as permanent as any masks labels are. So yeah, it's an actual like change the values around kind of a thing. But again, it's not permanent. It's masks permanent, which is about as permanent as a manicure.
I just couldn't tell from it where you're talking about for that role or
right.
for
Yeah.
a larger time.
I did a
period.
very similar thing with Harry, kind of different options, but. So what do you think? I mean, the option there is you can basically the first option lets you cap your freak, I think at 3, moving your danger even further down. But really, going full on powers. Going combat mode or going like superior assertion mode and going for the strong provoke kind of thing. How do you? I mean, it boils down to how you see Charlotte going into this thing. Like, I'm going to show him what real power is, or I'm going to shame him into doing the right thing. Or
Yeah, I'm kind of toying with the first one and the last one, which is basically, you made this mess and this is how you were going to fix it.
yeah, which is basically what that third one is for sure.
Yeah.
You can provoke him into taking
Just
some other route.
Kind of what you were playing with, I think the last time you were talking with him.
Yeah.
Didn't you try to?
That's how I got influence over him.
Yeah, and this certainly, I mean, I can't make you succeed, but I'm offering up the opportunity to swap your, you get your superior to a 2 plus another +1 for the thing, plus your influence over him would get you up to like a +4 on those kinds of rolls.
Yeah.
On a provoke. So that's pretty potent. Also,
Well, I think that's. Go ahead.
also it doesn't. I mean, your assess the situation is pretty strong at that point too, to kind of figure out what's going on and stuff like that. So I mean, that's an option. They're all odd. I mean, I thought any one of these might be the way things might go, so left them out there. You can think of if you've got 2 that you're kind of thinking about, think about it, because this is really it's Charlotte thinking about what she's going to do, and she could go back and forth a lot in these days. So you ponder it for a second while we shoot on to the next one, and I'll loop back to you to find out what you think. If you're still trying to weigh your options here, but you're not going to be able to check on with Dave because Dave's got to listen to his love letter because he's next. This is the big one, without a doubt. You've had 2 days to prep. You're tooled up right to the eyeballs. The team is united. The target is clear. The mission objective is still a little hazy, but 2 out of 3 is really worth a bit of celebration with this team. You are ready to be a hero on your terms. Roll danger.
So just as a thought, the tactical mission objective is fuzzy because we're not quite sure how we're going to get from where we are to where we want to be. But the overall objective, which is saving these poor people, classmates in the Grove.
I think that's fair. Actually, yeah. I mean, there's some question of like, well, are we doing that by beating the shit out of them? Are we doing this by shaming them into something? Are we how much that'll work with Dr. Infinity, I don't know. Are we doing that by taking the mages out of the equation? The how is the part that I think of as funny. But yeah, we're trying to prevent this horrible thing from happening. You've made it very personal. It isn't about saving the world. It's about saving these people. Yep. And that, you're right. That is, to be fair, you're right. That part's not hazy at all. I think everybody would agree to that part for sure. All right. Danger. Wait, I heard a beep. Let's go see what it was. Wow. Well, okay then. I know Adam is really dying for potential, so I will point out that 5 would get him another point of potential. But a 13 from Charade. Okie dokie. On 10, pick 2 of 791. Little column A, little column B is the first option. You were ready with a bit of tech. You quietly scattered around the LZ and hit both of them hard enough to rattle a god's molars. It always works sometimes. You're at a disadvantage in this fight in more ways than bear counting. Not least the fact that you're confined to linear space-time. But, and then stuff about Dr. Infinity's bots. Finally, hello, hero. You blast Infinity the moment they fully enter your timeline. Make sure they know it was you. And basically, you've got a free auto taunt ready. Mm-hmm. What do you go for, Dave?
I'm going to go for bullets 2 and 3.
Okay. All right. It always works sometimes. You're at a disadvantage in this fight in more ways than bear counting. Not least the fact that you're confined to linear spacetime, but based on reports of the other Infinity Mage Sprawls, there's a better than 70% chance, 73.5757 repeating, Infinity will be accompanied by those damn robot starfish things. You're ready for them? Probably. Tell us how you modified Leo's time-space stabilizer gizmo and or the key gnome powering it to take the bots out of the equation and pick one of the following. A, the effect is temporary. B, everything performs perfectly but with an unforeseen effect on Adam.
So yeah, I definitely had have a mat on towards the robot starfish things.
Yeah,
So,
I understand that fixation. They did harm to you.
and you know, we're going to be potentially, unless we're in the middle of swampland, which there's a lot of at Walt Disney World, we're going to be in, you know, amongst crowds, and
Right.
the more combatants there are, the greater the likelihood of collateral damage. So yeah, definitely want to take them out.
I will say, just real quickly parenthetically to Adam, something in Alicia's narration is going to have something to do with the fight starting. So if you had a thing you wanted to like quickly say happened before that, now is your time.
Yeah, it was basically like I don't know when the fight's actually happening. I keep on imagining it in the morning.
Sure.
But it's just like that morning when Adam like gets up and he's like getting ready to leave and everything. I had just watched the Justice League Unlimited episode Panic in the Sky. And there's this really great scene if you've ever seen the episode with Galatea and Professor
yeah.
Hamilton,
Sure. Yeah.
where right before she leaves to go off into a big fight, she like turns from soldier into like hugging him and just being like, "Goodbye, Daddy."
I love that episode, by the way.
Yeah,
so,
it's a great episode.
And I love the Galatea character too. So.
Yeah. So
Just like the boob window.
Well, yeah.
Anyway.
So I just see this as, Adam, like, it's like normal day, everything getting ready, like a normal day for, school and everything. And it's just like at the last, right when, Adam's mom is like, have a good day, is Adam just comes up to her, is like, gives her a big hug, is like, goodbye, mama. And it's like, instead of like running out to the bus, it's just like blip and blip.
Oh, okay. Can I have Jordan like still sitting at the table, like with a spoon of like halfway to her mouth and her mouth kind of hanging open?
Do you want that?
I mean, yes.
Given how Adam feels about the mundanity of his life,
Yeah.
yes.
Okay. And the next thing, like, because, oh my God, my 5-year-old has no volume other than like mute or 11 anymore. The next thing that she does is shout, "I knew it!" But you're not there. Okay. So quickly jumping, Adam's bits keep interrupting. I'm sorry about that. All right. So Dave, you were saying, so you're worried about all the people coming. Kudos.
Right, so that's why I'm leading off with taking these guys down. So Key Gnome Energy is about reality, controlling reality, and the robots have a particular attunement to that because they've been irradiated by it by Dr. Infinity's shenanigans.
Yes.
So Leo's time-space stabilizer, which is powered by a Key Gnome, can pick up on that radiation to actually intensify that time-space stabilization effect on them in particular as non-organic, as players not on the same level as Infinity and and Everard, to kind of literally lock them in place in space-time for a temporary period. I would do it permanently, but I know we've got other. Well, Adam just gave up his Key Gnome to do this.
It's still going to have an effect on him because he's not. He's still full. He's not fully.
He's still full of.
He's not clean.
he's been irradiated by that Kinome energy as well. So
Yeah.
yeah, I don't want to create the effect such that it affects him in the same way. So it'll be a
So,
temporary effect.
There'll be a point at which these things are going to become players, but not nearly as soon as it would otherwise.
Yes.
Okay. Hello Hero. So does that so what we actually see. So I'm going to actually kind of frame this thing up. You guys have been let's get back to the actual thing, and we'll go welcome to Disney. And but probably more, you guys have been sort of lingering out at the entrance where the but it's been a revamped entrance. You know, this is Halcyon. There's been tech. So the actual front of the place looks a little bit more high tech than any of the things we've seen here. So let's get like the little drop off exchange place looks a little bit, you know, newer, science fiction-y, because they've done a revamp on it, that kind of thing. Ignore the Tron logo. We'll just ignore that. You guys have been kind of lingering out in the front there, waiting, and
But that is Space Mountain.
No, yeah, it's actually a mock-up for something that they're doing with they're adding the Tron thing to that area or something. It's a mock-up for Disney, but just imagine this kind of out front, kind of where the monorail stuff is, the sort of exchange, all this kind of stuff. And oh, actually, we could have the fight at Space Mountain. That would be wicked, but no. Anyway, or does the monorail go right by there? It does, doesn't it? Kind of goes everywhere in that area, doesn't it?
Where the monorail, well, in Disneyland, I can't remember on Disney World when.
I'm trying to remember whether it goes through the. I don't know that it goes through the Magic Kingdom in Disney World.
No, I don't think it does.
It goes across because it goes across the front because it goes around the lake.
Right. Yeah, it goes around the front.
Disneyland, it goes through, and the stop in the park is
right.
kind of right there next to the submarine.
It's sort of in front. Yeah. So I'm just giving you guys that as a little mental image of like sort of the higher tech kind of thing. So you guys kind of lingering out front, and you get some effect, you know, as this is happening, and we'll narrate kind of what this looks like, the effects on the thing. But you get some flickering effects, and the your friends in the Twilight Grove were able to describe kind of. And you've seen some of the effects on film and stuff like that, like of, you know, one of these phenomena about to happen. It's not sky darkening stuff, but it kind of looks like people sort of like rapidly hitting like a pause button on and off, like in and around where this is about to happen. Just as it's about to happen. And the other one that we had for you, Dave, was you blast Infinity the moment they fully enter the timeline. Make sure they know it was you. So we'll get to that in just a second, because this is going to be kind of like a one-off kind of bazooka, rocket launcher, techie, laser, whatever. I'm very curious what that looks like, but we'll get to it right when it happens. First, Radiance. Because you guys, all your stuff is going to kind of roll off at once. Charlotte wants to have a word with the Magus. You can practically see flames in Alicia's irises when she talks about Dr. Infinity, but it all hangs on the machine Leo built, how it interfaces with the Kinome, and whether or not you can parse the instructions, keep up with Leo's explanation of space-time, and not freak out at his, quote, some of getting this to work is going to come down to feel. Time to be a hero, time to be a Newman. Roll Freak, you can use the mask for this session prior to the roll. So if you want to swap,
and I did.
And you did. All right, so Freak is flipped. Mundane's in the toilet, so don't count on Summer to talk you out of anything right now. And go ahead and roll Freak. An 8. Okay. All right. On a 10 plus, you do it and it's perfect. Describe the effect as you activate the device. On 7 and 9, you did it, but pick one. It's unstable. You'll be battling to keep Infinity locked down. So that'll be some stuff attached to that. It's temporary. Maybe the device was a real prototype with all that implies. Maybe you just did something wrong, but quote, this thing isn't going to hold forever. Or no, you messed up. You messed it up. Wait, maybe you can fix it. Maybe take a condition and tell us what you have to do to keep the device functional. On a miss, this was a bad idea. This is exactly what they wanted. Take hopeless and buckle up.
Well, I'm definitely. I want to say, first of all, I have a moment of truth for this character that would deal with Dr. Infinity, but I want to give Alicia first crack at her, whatever.
Them.
And or they may cooperate on this. So, Dave, you can sync up with me at some point before the end, because it's now like 8:30. I don't think this is going to finish tonight.
Probably. I mean, I wanted to. I know that we're not going to get all the way through this. Certainly, probably. I'm very curious, but I knew this wasn't the last session anyway, and I kind of wanted to luxuriate in coming into this thing and getting all the setup. So.
Oh, that's fair.
Yeah.
But I'm gonna say we'll go for the last option.
Okay.
She's gonna take a condition. The thing that she has to do to keep it functional is her body is designed with like a brain in the skull, like his normal android, like those androids do.
Yeah.
But her core self is kind of internal in this drone, so she's going to have to duplicate herself into that second brain for the duration. And now there's two of her running around. One of them is keeping tabs on that machine full time, and the other is kind of operating the body.
So which one is light and which one is the machinery? The
light effects come with the outer body, and the core drone of her is with Leo's machine now.
Okay. So is that one projecting like a second radiance, or is it?
It's going to be too busy for any of that nonsense. It's just another device plugged into this.
So
device.
It's just this. It's not even floating. It's just like almost like a much smaller version of Eve from WALL-E, kind of just hovering there, or attached to the thing, or something like that.
Yeah. So like, in comic book terms, there's panels of like her in this virtual reality workshop, frantically doing these operations, but they're all kind of internal to that.
Yeah, they're almost in your own head. Okay, what is the condition that you're taking?
She's going to take Insecure because, wow, this is scary territory for her.
Yeah, this is, I mean, yeah, you're kind of running with your nerve endings on the outside on this one.
And I mean, she's, she'll brave the peril, but it's like, what am I going to do after I get done with this? What's coming next? To me, that sounded more like Insecure than Afraid.
Okay. So Dr. Infinity and the Magus are coming in. They appear in space. Now they actually get in and out. They pop in and out a couple of times. Charlotte, you're actually starting to kind of see how the wounds are formed, because it isn't like one big explosion in the space. They're like, it's like a sewing machine needle that's just sticking in one spot.
Wearing the threads apart.
Yeah. And it's probably what you see is 2 or 3 times that they're in or out before Summer gets it. Summer probably sees 2 or 3 times. Alicia, they're in and out dozens of times before Summer activates the thing. I mean, they are at a truly microcosmic level, just shredding space-time right in this space, keeping up with each other before as Summer's there. And there's nothing to be done about that. I mean, but when you're tracking, there's a number of situations where they're like not moving, which is why everybody else is counting it a couple times. But you're seeing body shifts that indicate, you're seeing this at like 48 frames per second, and they're flickering. They're just flickering in place as they're still doing the movies and stuff. So there's a little bit of that where it's like you're seeing some of the stop motion animation, just to get a sense of that. And then And more slowly fading in all around the area, like a constellation, like actually kind of like the Valentine's Day prom where they had the balloons hanging down. They were like stars hanging from the ceiling, and they're all kind of like scattered around, so they're hanging at different. Coming in the skies around you are the spider bots, and you as they're fading in, they don't even really get a chance to start moving because they're coming in way. But I mean, by comparison to the other two, they're coming in much slower. They barely get into space before before Radiance activates the machine, and there's a big surge, and then it fades. You know, and you hear her. What do you say? Like, do you say anything? Do you yell anything, Radiance, when this is like, not quite when it's like, when you realize this is going to basically take constant babying to keep it going? Like, do you shout anything, or is it just like this sort of wordless shout of frustration, or is it just you dealing with it?
I think she's going to go with a lighthearted remark to kind of give a lie to the stress she's really feeling. And she's actually going to say, I'm calling a timeout.
Very nice. When it finally stabilizes, all of the hang on, I gotta get back to the other page, sorry. All of the little Octobot thingies, from your perception of things, and they're all over the place, all of them basically turn to stone and just freeze in place. They basically turn into statuary, because being utterly stabilized in time and place, from your point of view, basically makes them look like a sheeny, shiny gray stone. And that happens, and Alicia, you're kind of internally like, yes.
Yes.
Fist bump. Fist bump. And then you shoot Dr. Infinity as they finally stop flickering. What does that look like?
Actually, I don't actually shoot
Or
her.
is that shooter? You blast it.
No,
it says something.
Yeah, well,
you blast Infinity.
Yes. Well, I'm taking that metaphorically.
Okay. All right.
I crank up the gain on the kinomic energy.
So do you go over to Leo's device?
That's one of the things I have that in my pocket.
You put a remote on the Kinome device?
Sure. And I pump up the gain to 12 to give her the biggest migraine headache they have probably suffered in.
Well,
I don't know what sort of time frame to say for Dr. Infinity, but
yeah,
I'm hoping it will be memorable and distracting.
Yes. And yeah, okay. They actually because it's not like they're like currently choking out the mages or anything like that. They kind of like turn and they whirl right in the direction of the main device, and they're looking around. They taking everything, and they look at you guys and like, who are you? You are meddling in things you cannot possibly understand. How dare you?
That should be our line.
But yeah, interesting response to the whole thing in general. And finally, although actually I'm going to leap back to Charlotte here for real quick. Charlotte, did you decide which route you're going to take on this thing in terms of the options that you had available? I didn't get you.
You're muted. That's my trick.
I moved my headphone, but forgot to unmute. I'm going for option number 3.
Okay. All right. So
I'm going to tell the mages what I think of him and what he's going to do to fix this.
Ah, very
In
nice.
no uncertain terms, and I don't care if he's still in the middle of dying.
Okay, so Freak is swapping with Superior, and you get a +1 forward to Provoke. He incidentally is not, he does not look at the moment like you saw him last time where he was like half melted and stuff.
Has he got the upper hand right now?
Well, he's not, yeah, that has not happened yet in his timeline. So he's not in mid dying at this point.
Oh, good for him.
So yeah, we'll sort that out here in a second. And whoa, I heard a beep. Vortex blaster, nice. Vortex blasters. Like a sewing machine. All right, so, and finally back to Le Mercury. One more big showdown alongside the menagerie. 2 days to get ready, which is about 2 days more thinking than you really want to deal with. Lots of thoughts bouncing around your head, and you're not really a planner, but maybe you need to change that? Pick one. Maybe I'm always going to be stronger with my friends, or faster than a time traveler. Faster than light fist bump. Editorial. Which one do you think, Harry? I mean, pre love letter kind of gave you the opportunity to sort of get a bunch of play
Yeah.
out of your mundane, and then like, so you've got the option to really game the hell out of this. So
Yeah. I think I'll go with the faster than time travel.
faster than a time traveler, swap mundane and superior. You can use your moment of truth to turn any or anyone's 6- result in the fight into a 12+. So that's a thing.
Who knows? That may be important.
Given the way
So-
we roll, it's either going to be utterly useless or life-saving.
Yeah, it's really kind of
There's
how
no
it
middle road here.
is kind of how it shakes out. And I
So-
yes,
Slight strategic, with air quotes, talk here.
mm?
I'm going to guess based on how things are going, ladies are on offense, Harry and Adam are on damage control.
I mean, certainly could be that way.
That's kind of how I'm reading this as.
I mean, Charlotte is certainly going to go shake a very stern finger at the Magus. It certainly seems as though Alicia is going to be attempting to keep Dr. Infinity busy. Dave, quick check-in. Did you ever think you'd hear the words, Alicia's going to keep Dr. Infinity busy?
I've done it before.
And Joyce and Dave, there's a whisper which you should both be able to see if you're
Okay.
interested.
All right, let me see. Oh,
I don't see a whisper.
Are you not GM anymore?
I am GM,
interesting.
but I'm not seeing a whisper. Oh, wait,
Right above your link
Luigi
that
is
you're
typing. Yeah,
No,
I know. No,
Yeah. did
for
not come
whatever
up.
reason, that's not showing to me.
Interesting.
I'll just repost it to you then.
I'm
Okay.
I'm a super GM, apparently.
You're just the first one in order, and therefore the message goes to you.
It
Because
could be
it's not
that.
designed for multiples.
Seems like shoddy code, he said, looking not remotely surprised.
Well, if we have the love letter to wrap up, we can do that, and you guys can read.
Well,
this
I
and-
think we're love lettered. Let me see this again. Ooh.
Indeed.
Ooh, hang on, I hadn't read this thing because I was waiting for Dave. Ooh. That is pretty cool. So I'll let you guys you can actually direct you two figure out if that's the thing you want to do. You can direct message each other over on probably more easily over on Discord.
Okay.
We can do that?
Yeah.
Boy, howdy.
Right click on him over on the right hand side there, and you should be able to open up a direct message kind of thing. Time bubble. Okay. Before we get rolling into the rest of this, I am going to actually open up the thing that I always never remember to have open. Always never remember.
Team points?
No. Oh yeah, we should do that right away. There's a thing, and part of my problem is I never know where I left it. But there's like this whole GM sheets thing that you need to have kind of handy for stuff like, when you punch people, like when you punch a bad guy, what do they do? Things like that. And it's kind of handy to have, and I always forget to open it up. But you're right. Team is a thing. Let's look at that real quick. Basic moves. Nope, not basic moves. Peripheral moves.
Team moves.
Team moves. Team mechanics. When you enter battle against a dangerous... Oh, this doesn't qualify. Wait. No. When you enter battle against a dangerous foe as a team, add 2 to the team pool. Done. If the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team. I mean, I don't know if it even matters who the leader is, because I think you probably all have influence, but who's the leader for this? Who does it feel like?
I can see 2 different people in this, and I don't think it matters one way or the other which one we choose.
Probably not.
But it's either Charlotte or, based on what Radiant said, Alicia?
Yeah. I think, was Alicia the leader last time? Like the last time we had a team thing? I think she was, wasn't she?
I believe so.
Let's have...
I personally feel like this is most directly Charlotte's issue.
Yeah.
Though, so.
It is Charlotte. It is Charlotte's big thing.
I
so,
think it's Charlotte's thing, and not least because we're in the South, and there's
I don't know that Orlando qualifies.
there's swampland, and there are fake Southern buildings somewhere nearby.
There is probably somebody in a white
so,
suit somewhere.
Hang out at Port Orleans.
There's
Yeah, so Charlotte has influence over everybody, their brother, the mages,
yeah.
and 3 or 4 other NPCs.
So if the leader has influence over every teammate, add another team. That's 3. If everyone has the same,
3 or 4?
if everyone has the same purpose in the fight, add another team. I think. Are we all agreed? Dave, I think, summed this up by saying, keeping this whatever happened to our friends from happening to our friends. And whatever.
31.
What's that?
Priority 1.
Yeah, that's priority 1? All right, sounds good.
Mhm.
If any team member mistrusts the leader or the team, remove a team. Alicia? I'm not saying I always start with you, but it saves me time.
Yeah. For these purposes, I am trusting. I'm trusting Charlotte absolutely. Both her compassion towards the statues in the grove and her connection with Everard makes it clear she's.
If nothing else, you absolutely know you can feel absolutely positively sure that she wants the same thing that you want in this situation. So yeah.
I don't see her going all crazy ghost person.
Summer?
What's that?
Are we trusting the team and our leader? Summer?
Oh yeah.
Adam?
Yeah.
Harry?
Yeah.
Okay. If your team is ill prepared or off balance, remove a team. No.
Once we're actually prepared.
I know.
We just spent nearly 2 hours demonstrating how prepared we are for this.
And I just want to say parenthetically that with all the talk about Blades of the Dark and kind of this mechanic of you don't do any preparation for these capers, you just go to the point where they begin to go wrong.
Yeah.
That's kind of funny that we then spent a session.
Yeah, I know. I wasn't going to do it here. This isn't a caper. Because the thing is, see, this is the thing. In the way you do the action, like if you describe what's going to happen, then either it's boring to do that, have that happen again if everything goes to plan, or you wasted a bunch of time planning something that's going to go sideways. So the description of it is actually sort of telling you everything that led up to the point where things went sideways. So you get that, and then you get to the thing. And the best part about it is that the planning role also tells you like sort of like a resource that you have to spend where you can then deal with stuff going sideways by giving yourself flashbacks to the prep that you did to deal with the thing that just went wrong because you anticipated it in your preparation. So you can be geniuses about the con retroactively. It's really, really sharp, and it's in Blades in the Dark, and it's also in all the other Blades.
That so fits the caper, which is like,
yeah,
it's not until the very end where you also you see what they did to
prepare for all the stuff. Yeah.
Also,
or
I will say,
it goes horribly sideways and you fail, because sometimes that happens too. But anyway, you will say, Mike.
doing one session where you prep, fun. Prepping for like 15 different scenarios over like 8 weeks or something like that. It loses its luster after a while.
You're saying doing that in Blades, or just doing it as
No, as somebody who played a whole lot of Shadowrun. Eventually,
Oh
it's
God.
guys, we've overplanned. How do we even know that they have a tank? Let's just know.
Yeah. Yeah, it got to that point with us back in the day when we were playing Star Wars. We just stop planning and just go, because we figured, eventually it's going to go sideways anyway. And are we sneaking or are we fighting? We're sneaking. Okay, we're going to sneak until the sneaking stops working anymore. Here's how this is going to work. We're going to sneak. Either there will be no witnesses, or there will be no witnesses left alive. Either way, this is a stealth mission. Anyway, so that went off the rails a bit, but yes, this is a different kind of thing, because this is not. This wasn't like planning about what's going to happen. It's planning about, it's really all.
No, I'm good with what you did here.
Yeah, it's really all about the personal interaction beforehand. I mean, come on, it's really the point. All right, so that's that, and I believe that brings us to a grand total of 4 team dumping into a pool that already has 5 in it. So if you're going to use team, certainly this session would be the time to use team. Did I do that right? Oh, sorry, I did that. There's one too many in there. You should only have...
No. I think it's okay.
You should only have 9. Okay. So they appear. The starfish... Oh, that works on several levels. I like that. The starfish all kind of turn to stone. Alicia fiddles with the thing in her pocket, and Infinity rages with Rah! And I think is actually just gonna, well, okay, so she can see very specifically kind of where this is all happening, like what the source of this discomfort and pain and really just interference from insects is happening from. So she is gesturing imperiously. Oh, actually, I wonder if let me grab the doc. No, I need the Dr. Infinity picture. Image. Villains? Probably. Be silly if it wasn't in villains. There we go. So that orb thing, she kind of just opens her hand, and I say she, they kind of open their hand and it appears floating above their hand, and then when they tip their hand, it isn't like they grab it. They tip their hand and it's in front of them, and they shove it toward sort of the Alicia Summer cluster where the gizmo's at. And Alicia's sort of not Alicia, Radiance is like undocking, connecting to the device kind of thing. The orb is getting, and as it's coming, it's growing as it's coming, like a gigantic energy ball of Katamari Damacy badness in response to this sort of interference from Alicia and stuff. Who hasn't done anything yet that I want to have do something? I am going to, this is cosmic energy, so I think thematically I want to see what Adam's going to do with this. Adam, what do you do?
We are going to throw up an energy barrier and try to block it.
Okay. Is this throw burn and then do the thing? Or
no.
No, it's just a
Actually,
defend?
yeah, it's going to be a defend, although I will say I do want to defeat a terrible enemy here.
Okay. Is that
so I'm marking guilty so that I can use game face.
what is game face? Remind me what that is.
When you commit yourself to save someone or defeat a terrible enemy, mark a condition and take +1 ongoing to all rolls in direct pursuit of that goal.
Okay.
At the end of any scene in which you don't make progress towards that goal, mark a condition.
All right. So you are not burning, but you are just doing a straightforward.
I am burning with determination because that's what I named the move.
You're burning with determination, but you're not actually doing the Nova burn.
Yeah, we're not
thing.
using the burn.
All right. So
I'll stop being.
No, I understand.
I'll stop being cute here.
Okay, so that is a defend with your savior. Let's have that savior roll. Oh, look at that. Full hit. Boom, boom, boom.
Yep.
I think, let me just get back over to defend. Full hit.
On a hit, you keep them safe and choose one.
All right, add team to the pool. Take influence over someone you protect. Oh yeah, you're really going to be dying from that. Or clear condition.
I'm going to clear condition.
All right, what are you going to clear? Guilty?
Literally the one I just checked.
All right. It's like, oh, I can't let this happen again. Hey, I didn't let this happen again. All right, so the barrier goes up. This is a time bubble that literally should, like, stop time inside of its space. What does that look like interacting with Adam's barrier? Is it like a wall he threw up in front of it, or is it a bubble around the girls, or what's this?
Yeah, I think it is literally just Adam like zipping past the girls forward, just like throw up an energy barrier, and it's just like enveloping around the bubble.
Okay, so you have your energy of the concordance surrounding this null time bubble. All right, it's contained. You stop it from expanding, although it kind of feels like it might have gotten pretty close to its intended size anyway, but you've stopped it forward. What do you do with it?
We're going to try and burn this thing out. Like, start just shrinking my
Overcharge it?
bubble around it.
Shrink. Okay, you're gonna shrink. Okay.
I imagine that might take some time.
Yeah. Because I think Infinity is probably gonna want this thing loose again. So that's definitely gonna be. Eventually there'll be an overcome, some sort of unleash your powers kind of thing happening here. But
I am ready for that one.
in the meantime, you guys are sort of straining against one another. Charlotte, the Magus is actually been. He immediately he didn't react in the same way as Infinity, but he did immediately like sort of like he sort of lowers his immediate guard, frowning a little bit. He's glancing around and seems to be looking at sort of open space and glancing at the starfish, raising up his staff and kind of looking through the glass of the stone, kind of at the rest of the place.
Everard does a pierce the mask.
Or assess the situation.
Yeah, he's just kind of he's taking stock of things, and he's not being, I shouldn't say he's being really methodical about it. That's not really true either, but he's, you know, he's been confronted with weird phenomena basically his entire existence. And I mean, he's ridiculously powerful. He's just ridiculously powerful. So, so he doesn't have much reason to panic. So he's kind of actually, at the time, he's actually sort of hovering in the air over the, you know,
He's more bemused than
yeah,
worried.
he's sort of hovering in, like over the turnstiles and kiosks and stuff, like about 20 feet up over the turnstiles and kiosks where you actually kind of walk into the park. People are scattering. People are like either running further into the park or backing away from the park. The monorail kind of pulled up and like stopped like 40 or 50 meters down the track and just is not moving. What do you do? All full of righteous anger and dismay and all that sort of thing.
Oh, I call him out.
Like, I mean, do you go up there? Are you shouting at him from a distance, or?
No, I'm just gonna. That we're gonna see the giant Charlotte at this point.
So like you get sort of big,
Yeah.
bigger.
I want to get his attention.
Okay, so you rise up. So you get the people who were kind of like, oh look, a couple of superheroes are blasting each other, are now like, oh shit, there's a giant ghost person, like, and this is probably not one of the special effects. Although there are a couple of people who are well, actually quite explicably, taking freaking phone shots of this because man, Disney is really, really going to town.
Gone over the top here.
For whatever holiday is coming up right now. They're not processing, it's March, and there's nothing to celebrate about March. What do you say? You get a big like that, and he kind of like, he does track you, getting up like that, eyebrows kind of raise, like, oh, this is interesting, marginally.
No, I say, Magus Everard, this stops now. You and this caused enough damage across the worlds. You are not harming my friends or this earth. Fix it.
He's kind of looking at you like, for a little bit of like bemusement and a little bit of,
So by how dare she?
oh, kind of, but kind of like, how on earth does this little yappy dog think that he's a 200-pound mastiff, kind of thing? A little bit of that, but largely bemusement. I'm sorry, I'm at a bit of a loss. Usually I need to meet a woman before she begins making demands and telling me that I'm a terrible person who's destroyed their lives. You are?
I am Charlotte Palmer, Ghost Girl. You and this shenanigans created me. We have crossed in my path in your future. I'm not tolerating this any further. This is what you need to do. I'm channeling my inner Gladriel.
Oh, I see. I see.
Not quite the scary banshee face, but
you're getting pretty close.
No, she's actually using her speak to the help voice. she has perfected. It's
Speak-
it's the oh yeah.
Speak to the help voice. I'm not sure that he's necessarily going to react to that super well, but
I don't care.
yeah.
At this point, blew up his gazebo. I will.
Yeah. No, yeah, except he doesn't know that yet.
You know. Well,
Um,
that's his problem for flitting around all over
Yeah. Yeah.
timeline.
All right. Well then I think yeah, we're just going to go straight to the provoke and see what rolls off from that. So when you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do and roll superior for NPC, blah, 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 blah. So you are rolling superior. You're going to need to, you're taking +1 forward on this, so you're going to need to put in a modifier. And you have influence over Everard, even though he doesn't know it. Because at some level he does. Because for Dr. Infinity exists in a Baramy Jeremy timeline. Magus Everard exists. Period. He doesn't.
That's what you get when you hoard keynomes.
Yeah, you're noticing as you're glaring down at him that he's actually got a really, really familiar gemstone on his breast, fastening his cloak also. Okay, yeah, Dave, I have seen those messages. So
Okay.
let's do a provoke, Charlotte. Let's see how these words land on him. Because he's a terrible, terrible person.
It's +2 to that.
So yeah,
Situational bonus?
yeah. So yeah, you roll your thing. Oh my God. Okay, so that's a 14. All right, kapow indeed. Sorry.
I love the way that comes up. Yeah, like
Yeah.
kapow.
I went through at one point in time, and you can actually like go in and write and say what the messages are supposed to be and stuff like that. And
That's fun.
the oh no and the all right. So that's brilliant. And Kaylee's making a kapow motion over here. When you provoke someone susceptible to your words, say what you're trying to get them to do, and roll superior. For NPCs on a 10+, they rise to the bait and they do what you want. On the 7 to 9, they can instead choose one. All right, so give me just a second. I need to tuck a certain person in bed, and then we will come back and see how this goes right now. I'll be right back.
So while he's doing that, I want to retcon a discussion in about what exactly we want Magus to do.
We've caught that car bumper. Now what do we do with it?
I got the car. Now what? I mean, because what's obvious is that, at some other point in this battle, they're going to at least sweep up everybody. And the question is, is the imperative to end this battle imperative to, to take it somewhere off the earth, or imperative smaller just to avoid the future error?
All right, I'm back. Am I
Soon.
back?
They didn't give me any feedback yet.
All right.
That
Yeah, I was
all
in.
of those are perfectly good options.
I was in Kaylee's. I was in Kaylee's room going, okay, what am I going to ask him to do? And I'm like, so typical.
Well, I think the immediate term, the minimum is averting what happens again to the people that are now statues in the grove.
Right.
Longer term, as you noted, there's other damage that they are doing, inadvertently or advertently to people every time they pop up.
Well, the primary goal, I mean, the primary goal of what you guys are trying to do in this time and place is
Right, to make them safe.
to make
Make
them
it not
safe.
happen.
Next time, shut off my light.
Oh, sorry. I'm very bad at tucking people in, apparently.
Leaving lights on.
I was in such a rush to get back in here that I left her light on when I left the room. Yeah, I'm bad. I fail at dad. Anyway, all right. Okay.
Basically, I lay down what's going on and what's not going to happen.
Yep. You've been damaging the
You know,
world.
I give him some options. Yeah, and I give him some options as to ways he can deal with it. But
All right.
this is what's not going to happen.
Yeah. And you're.
That's me.
I gotta see. I didn't see. Where did you guys link? Oh, the Google James's thing.
James. Yeah.
All right. That's very, very good. All right.
I am very cross.
So from where he's standing, hovering, whatever, he kind of had Charlotte had any experience with this, she would find it reminiscent of sort of like bad 3D, where they have the sword that comes out over, the giant sword that comes out over across the entire audience, kind of thing. It's a similar sort of effect, because he's sort of like, he doesn't swing it but he sort of like casually extends his staff your direction, and as it's coming sort of in line with you, it's also doing that sort of 3D thing where it like is suddenly much closer. And it's sort of I mean, you're a ghost girl and he's doing a weird thing, but for all intents and purposes, it sort of like touches you at your like forehead chakra. And it's sort of like a voluntary possession, basically.
Okay.
And you feel him kind of going through your timeline.
Much faster this way.
Not searching it, but like experiencing it. And while that's happening,
I want to see his face when he gets to the gazebo.
while that's happening, Harry, Dr. Infinity is doing something with Charlotte, but it doesn't seem to be attacking thing. They both are kind of like
Magus Everard.
Magus.
Sorry, what did I say? Dr. Infinity?
Dr.
Magus,
Infinity.
sorry. Magus Everard and Charlotte are kind of locked in some kind of thing, and Charlotte's all big. Dr. Infinity seems to be like sort of straining against Concord's like sort of entrapment of one of her time bubble thingies. What do you do? Dr. Infinity's kind of distracted? Maybe.
Yeah, I mean, I was looking at.
I mean, you can be ready for whatever, but
Yeah,
Excuse me.
I was thinking of either same kind of move, but either further distracting Dr. Infinity by like getting their attention, and thus they're putting less effort on the big happy fun ball of doom.
Mm-hmm.
Or telling all the people to get their stupid butts out of there. All
Sort
the
of preemptively
bystanders.
preemptively getting the bystanders out of there. Probably, I mean, there's nobody an immediate threat. I mean, it's not your first instinctive move, but honestly, going for Dr. Infinity may be your best thing right now.
Okay.
Whether or
Could throw
not,
trash cans at her.
Hey, James,
Yeah.
if you're open for suggestion,
Yeah.
Joyce will appreciate this because he
will I?
just watched Castlevania.
Okay.
So Concord is struggling with this giant ball and maybe like starting to slide back. Perhaps Mercury kind of runs up behind him, holds his back, and like uses his super speed to just start pushing him forward towards Dr. Infinity with their own ball of energy.
I mean, certainly that's an option. I do remember that. That was
I mean, I was planning on just yelling at them.
That is also an option.
The old flash thing of throwing rocks or something, at super speed from different points is always.
Yeah. Being super speed annoying. Or possibly.
I thought we learned that lesson at the cemetery.
Maybe not. Who knows? What are you doing, Harry?
Wasn't that like just a week ago?
It wasn't even a week ago. It was like 4 days ago.
This whole thing, it's no wonder Harry wants to retire. It's just one mess after another.
Even
with this team.
even living at super speed, things happen awfully fast.
Yeah, I mean, throw. I picture just
right as Dr. Infinity like
and Dr. Infinity and Adam like struggling and
just as
and
Dr. Infinity monologues something.
A hot dog hitting their face.
It's like, there's no way you can possibly stand against me, boy. Hot dog in face. Smack. Smack, smack. What are you? Smack, 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 smack. Smackety, smack, 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 smack.
And eventually throwing things that cause a bit more distraction than
I know exactly what this is.
condiment.
The thing where they're like throwing annoying things at was it Callisto? No. No. Good lord.
Lady who turns people into animals.
Cersei. And you just keeps
yes.
until finally the piano. Will you just knock it off? It's like, oh god, and then it's the piano. It just keeps going and going and going. That's great. Okay. Give me, this may or may not go great, but it's going to be hilarious. So directly engage a threat. Harry.
Yeah. Ooh. I was going more for provoke someone.
I mean, if you want to, sure, you could do it as a provoke.
Isn't that kind of what I'm doing?
If you're meant to piss them off and like distract them, then by all means, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm just going for pissing them off.
All right.
Not like.
That's beautiful. By all means, go for the provoke then. Yeah, if you're not, I didn't know how.
I'm not trying to hurt them. I'm just trying to, piss them off,
really,
distract them.
and we get another full hit. The team, playing to its strengths, is super annoying. I'm not touching you. I'm not touching you. The hot dog's touching you. All right. What are you trying to get them to do with this childish, infantile behavior? We face Dr. Infinity and threw hot dogs at them. And it worked.
One.
And it
This
worked.
is from the same group that did a cupcake baking challenge with Jeff Goldblum. So,
I did consider having a giant Jeff Goldblum show up again as sort of a Stay
I,
Puft Marshmallow
I
Man.
think that yeah, I think that all future games have to have
Jeff
you know,
Goldblum.
Jeff Goldblum show up in episode 53 or something. You know.
Yeah. If we get to
Uh,
episode 53 and other campaigns, I will find a way for Jeff Goldblum to show up. I promise. All right. So what are you trying to get them to do? Give up on the time bubble
think-
thing or what?
Going for the like they gaining a critical opportunity against them. I mainly just want to get them to shift their focus from Adam and the Demon Ball, and that'll give Adam an opportunity to do his magic on it.
Okay. Okay. All right. Sweet Mama Jenkins. Okay.
They rise the bait and do what you want.
Yeah.
You now have Dr. Infinity's undivided attention, Harry. Good job.
All right. Let's just look at. I gotta pull up my little PDF here. Okay. So this is a little bit sort of the thinking rage violence kind of thing, because you're just doing all this kind of stuff. Dr. Infinity, basically like just sort of just with a howl of frustration, really kind of drops the bubble that Adam's holding. So it's a little bit like you're standing in a really strong wind and the wind suddenly stops, Adam, with the resistance kind of dropping, and just flings out and flings these like these kind of like time bubbles, but they're angrier looking. They're like bubbling. They're almost eating through space as they're being flung. But there's like just more than that. Like there's like a half dozen of things. They're just flung out. At each of you. Sure, time daggers, but they're still like the little ball things, but they're faster and they're not expanding. And just like kind of one coming at everybody sort of thing. And then she starts flickering. It's like she's trying to leave, but she can't. Obviously, she can't leave, but she's still within the sort of area of effect of this thing. She seems to still be able to move around, like
she's doing little micro moves.
Yeah, she's doing little micro moves within like a hemisphere the size of the Epcot Center, if that makes sense. Not probably that big, but
the size of the planet Earth.
Yeah,
thing, or
the
are you talking
dome
about
thing.
the park as a whole?
No,
okay.
But like the dome thing. Like you cut that in half, lay it down, and she's inside that space. It still seems to be able to move around in there, but like shifts really quick. In that, and we have these balls going. And then she throws out 3 or 4 more of these things. Have the provoke on her. She's given up on that. all the balls are going. Summer, what do you do?
Are you ready for the two-parter moment of truth or not?
I want to know how you know first.
How I know?
Well, I want to know, not you. I want to know how Summer figures it out.
Oh, okay. Well, that would be the moment of truth. That would be setting up the second one that would be coming.
Okay, I want to let's. Can you do me a favor?
Come back to me when you're ready for that.
So shoot me something that would be a tell that would trigger it. Can you do that?
I actually had something a little more elaborate in mind. I'll just send you a whisper. But
Oh yeah, whisper whatever you whatever. I need a triggering event for what you got, what you're winding up here. Excuse me. Excuse me. Dang it. Charlotte.
Yes?
Magus kind of pulls back from this connection and blinks and is looking up at you and is like, well, damn it. And right about then, Infinity's little burbling, angry time ball like hits him full on in the side of the head. What do you do? And he goes down screaming.
So can you describe to me the time ball a little bit further?
If you look at like the picture of Dr. Infinity up there on Disney, like that, except way more of the black stuff, and like the black stuff is
Crackle.
yeah, the black stuff is the black bubbles are like constantly like coruscating over it, kind of like a really, really angry glass of Coke. Like, but it's just like just boiling with this darker energy around this bubble thing, and that's basically what hits him in the side of the head.
But what is the effect? What does it do?
It's melting his face. You're seeing the thing happen that you saw later.
Okay. So okay. I will.
Which is can I say real quick, is disturbing on a number of levels, because A, crap, I just had him convinced to pay attention to what I was saying. B, this thing happened, which I know locks in some stuff in the future because that happened and that was in the future and now it's happening here. So that's the thing. And then there's a certain like there's a little terrified Jiminy Cricket in the back of your head saying, if he completely stops all of this, that's going to make you not happen.
Oh, that was already part of my concern.
Oh,
so.
you already knew that. All right.
Yeah.
That was already on your radar. Charlotte is so brave.
I mean, that's sort of why. Yeah. Anyways, that's one of the reasons why I didn't do number 2 or number 1.
I see. All right.
Undoing all of this would not do me. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to reach out and see if I can't either put a barrier between him and the goo, or move the goo into the to the ghostly dimension, or do something so that it's not napalming him.
Okay. That is going to be unleash your powers, which unfortunately right now are a little weaker than they normally would be because you put it all in your will.
I'm still okay.
You're not terrible by any stretch of the imagination. Let's see where we are. All right.
A hit.
A palpable hit. All right, so.
Don't forget, guys, we got like 9 team in the pot. If there's anybody can. If someone needs to do something to.
So,
if someone doesn't get a hit.
Yes. I'll tell Harry this right now. So Harry, well, I kind of summed this up for a couple people. So the balls are flinging out. Alicia, this was
Note to others: don't let it touch you.
yeah. Well, and here's the thing, Alicia.
Safety message.
Don't cross the streams.
The only ones that were actually on point were the ones at the mages. The rest of it was just a distraction. This is Alicia reading it like, you know, sort of as it's happening. Everyone's like, look out, and you're like, but no, and it's only one, you know, but you're not really at the right angle, any of that kind of stuff. So that's happening. The other balls are sort of zipping out, and they actually get to the edge of the effect and pop. So they're not extending past this bubble either, which may have possibly a secondary test to see whether or not she could blast her way out of this thing. That's not happening. And you see Harry, you see Everard go down. Harry, you see Everard go down. Alicia, you see Everard go down. Charlotte is both shrinking down to normal size and closing in with him as he's and reaching out to him. Concord. And then Summer, what are you doing? Like, because you've left part of yourself there in front of the machine, but what are you doing as in your main body?
I think for the most part, if there's stuff being flung around, she's trying to intercept it before it hits anyone or anything.
Okay.
So for the moment, she's playing defense.
Okay. So you kind of stepped forward and away from the thing, but then the balls come zipping out, and you use a couple of like sort of, you know, kind of is it like a light barrier kind of thing where you can kind of deflect?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So yeah, you guys just initially, I mean, like I said, it wasn't a real threat. So you and Adam are sort of doing that, but it's hardly even were they. So you're not actually standing fairly close to each other as Everard goes down screen, and Infinity's sort of flickering, like they're trying to figure out this thing. And given time, it seems like they will. Okay, here we go.
So
Okay.
Charlotte.
So Charlotte,
want-
Charlotte, do you
want
want
us to
help
push
up
that
to
up to
10?
a 10?
Because there's people that can help.
I'm sorry.
The question is, you got an 8 on the on your freak roll. Do you want it pushed up to a 10? Because with Concord there and Harry right there, between his power and Harry's power and stuff like that, you could definitely get the help necessary to, or for that matter, Summer.
As long as it's not going to expose them to an opportunity from Infinity.
No, the helping thing. No, it shouldn't. Who's in on helping?
Well, Adam, if Charlotte tells him what he's doing, if Charlotte tells Adam what she's planning on doing, he can definitely like throw energy into it.
Well, you've got sort of truth on your side. You can see kind of what the intent here is. She's reaching out there to try to, in some way, shape, or form, protect him from the larger damage of this thing. Because I mean, left to its own devices, it will eat him.
Yep.
It's like napalm.
Yeah.
Yep. So.
Okay, so you can, yeah, kind of. You know, do you want to go to where she is, or just kind of send energy her way and hope to God she knows how to channel it, or what are you doing there?
Plop over there and
okay.
just help her like throw in energy because I could see the Concordance kids telling Adam that he's been looking at compassion the entirely wrong way this whole time.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because they're able to blast whenever they want to. Nice trick if you can do it. All right. So you get in there to help. Of the two, we got Harry and we have Summer that I feel like are probably most on sort of tone for rushing in there to help out. Who's up for that, if anybody?
If Harry doesn't, then I will.
What do you think,
I'd be
Harry?
happy to help, though. Not sure what Harry could add just besides team.
Well,
There's Harry could get the Magus to Charlotte quicker.
well, that's not necessarily an issue,
Pretty
but
close already.
yeah,
Mhm.
the energy is a weird thing.
Can
I mean-
Harry slow down the effect that it's having while she's whining her stuff?
I mean, you're faster than a time traveler. Theoretically, you could do something with this goop and get it off him.
Or at least maybe
I could
affect the molecules in
Vibrate
some
his
way.
body.
Kind of.
Or maybe just the
I could-
goo. Goo,
Hey,
not the body.
I didn't want. I didn't want to touch the goo.
Yeah, that's fair.
That's fair.
You've
Use
got
your hand
plenty
to
of-
break this stuff off.
you have plenty of stuff that you can use indirectly, though, right?
Like hot
Yeah.
dogs.
No.
Like we're gonna
Popsicle
you're in a-
sticks.
you're in a theme park. There's so much here.
Yeah, that's true.
Giant foam
Use one of
hands.
Mickey hats.
Mickey
to-
Mouse.
Mickey ears.
Come back
Mickey
and
magic wands that light up and swirl around. with the
scooping it away
batteries.
with. Love it. So is it using stuff to scoop away the goop as fast as you can, which is pretty damn fast, or is it literally vibrating his body like out of sync with the, which may be tricky because time, but it's literally physically time, but maybe.
I mean, whichever one messes less with Charlotte is doing.
Well, you've never tried this before, but you see no reason why it shouldn't work, which is pretty much how Harry's powers work.
Harry's, yeah, Harry in a nutshell.
So actually spotting what the side effect that happened with the starfish sort of gave you this idea. You get in there and I mean the thing is this stuff is time. Getting away from it is really hard unless you can just make the things not be in time. So you actually sort of get a hold of the Magus like at the shoulders and slow him way down, which is not something you've done before. But you just kind of think, oh, this is what I need to do. So you don't quite get him to turn to stone, but he gets really close and
Stasis?
somewhat resistant to the stuff, at least long enough to kind of deal with this stuff. So and that'll get you up to 10, which is just as the overcome the basic unleash your powers, reshape your environment kind of thing. So you're getting this stuff as much as you can away from it. Largely this is Charlotte kind of shifting the stuff away into the shadow realm. Ha ha ha. We are treated as viewers of the comic book to this stuff, like she's sort of scooping it and shunting it away into the shadow realm where it's sort of tumbling through space and like through the open space and eventually sort of coming to rest against the stuff that it really can't at least initially affect. No. And there we go. And we see it kind of coming to rest on some random, shadow reflection surface, and like Mercury kind of growing together, not the superhero, but the actual stuff. It kind of like glomps together, and
That gross stuff we already had to deal with.
yeah. It's apparently angry time group that got shunted into the Shadow Realm by some desperate superhero.
Well,
So
you know,
you're
it just
saying
gives
that
me one more thing to really be pissed off at Infinity about.
so you're saying that we've reached the point in every superhero's career where we've become powerful enough that we are our own worst enemy.
I think that's been true for the menagerie since the beginning.
Really, I mean, we have always
Well,
been. We have always been.
Jason was always his own worst enemy.
Yes, we have always been that powerful. Wait a minute. Okay,
I'm
so.
just gonna say this because it needs to be said right now.
Uh-huh.
Damn it, Jason.
Damn it, Jason.
Damn it, Jason.
Okay, so that you guys are kind of working on that.
What is Dr. Infinity doing?
Dr.
besides
Infinity-
trying to bop around.
As this is all rushing, yeah. Well, she's been taking stock of the situation. And the real the problem that she has here is clearly
Damn you meddling kids.
what's that?
Damn you meddling kids.
She stabilizes long enough to for Alicia to, well, you see her kind of squinting in that sort of angry robot facial expression kind of thing, like that little squint of like, there we are kind of thing. But also holding still long enough to actually do something too. What do you do? This is Alicia.
I mean, is she squinting at anything or anyone in particular?
Yes, Summer.
Okay. Which Summer is she squinting at? Summer at the device, or Summer who's been using her barriers to help deflect the goo bubbles?
I think you need to assess the situation.
I guess I do.
That's a good question, but I'm not telling you.
Well, fine. A
full hit. Of course, it's a full hit.
See, for all of our dice rolls
I'm waiting.
for
I'm,
this.
yes.
Not all, but many. Yes.
I'm
Very
waiting
No,
for a
it's-
clean
we-
roll to blow.
We did our bad rolls in the love letters.
in the prep. Yeah. Assess situation. Ask 2.
Ask 2. Oh, I need to pull up that list then. No, I'll use the blurry one that's been uploaded to the.
Blurry.
Well, it's
It's in perfect focus for me.
yes. When I magnify it, it gets blurrier.
Really?
Yeah.
That's so weird. It's not
Oh,
in focus
wait.
until.
Let's see. Assess the situation. Ask 2.
It's interesting that it's blurry to you. It actually gets in, like, that's when it's finally in focus for me.
Well, it's in focus when it's real teeny tiny. Then when I blow it up, it gets.
That's
It's
exactly the
blown up blurry.
opposite. Wacky.
I
All
always
right,
just right click on it and open in a new open in a new tab.
there you go.
Yeah, that's not helping. Anyway.
What hair can I use to blank? What hair is the biggest
Yeah.
threat? What hair is the biggest threat? What hair is in the greatest danger? What hair is most vulnerable to me? How can we best end this quickly?
I will. Who here is in the greatest danger? Presumably from Dr. Infinity.
Okay.
In terms of who the hell is she actually squinting at?
She is squinting at that is you're the super combat genius. She is squinting at the machine.
I was afraid of that.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's difficult to say specifically because they're really kind of in line from where
Right.
Infinity's at, but they're definitely squinting at the machine. And actually, right about then, And you can ask your other question whenever, but right about then unleashes like a torrent of the angry time bubbles in that direction, which
Crap,
actually
because
puts
I was
both
going to use my distract
okay.
that I still have hanging before she would actually do that.
All right. That is fine.
Since I
So
have
she's winding
love
up.
letter.
Yeah, she's winding up
Yeah.
to do that, and you reach in your pocket and tweak it back to 12 again for a second. Yeah.
sure.
And
I
she's
like
like,
that.
and she's like, ah! She turns like, ah! And she's got a read on all the energy signals. She knows where this is coming from. She knows what's doing it, which is the bigger problem. But right now, just let's kill the annoying gnat with the thing. So all the bubbles that come, it's like, aha! I've got her attention. Oh shit. And yeah, it is a piranha swarm of these things. Summer, what do you do?
I'll save you.
but of course you will.
I got to move. Literally called I'll save you. Can defend on 12+ if I mark a condition. So I'm covering for Alicia.
Okay. I want to see this thing. I want to read this. That's awesome. That's just is it a passive? Oh, I'll save you.
Yeah.
You're willing to pay a high cost to keep your loved one safe. Reveal your secret identity to someone watching, or mark a condition to defend a loved one as if you rolled a 12. A loved one? Gasp.
Shh.
Yeah, please. Everybody is a loved one for Summer.
James pointed that out too.
I feel so
and
used.
I mean, seriously, this is like, I mean, you give this move to someone, it's like Pinkie Pie. Of course it
You were fed blintzes and abandoned. Is that what you're saying?
I'm just saying it's easy to make the argument. Okay. So,
Somebody
as if
should.
you rolled a 12 for the defend, is it the defend? That
Yeah.
works? All right. And you take the condition. What's the condition you take?
I marked afraid because she's putting herself in the path of this transcendent godlike being.
Okay, let me look at something here really quick.
That could provide a tell, by the way. Just saying.
Yeah,
And Doris, I sent you the whisper that you asked for.
yeah,
so.
I'm looking at. All right. Okay. I'm just sorting out everything here. Real quick. All right. All right. Basic move. Defend. So
I also want to note my roommates asked me to pick her up. I have about 30 minutes.
yep. Add a team. Okay, so add a team to the pool, take influence on a clear condition. You obviously rolled well enough to do one of the extra defend things there.
I'm clearing it secure because now I have too much on my mind to be insecure.
Yeah, can't worry about being insecure. Okay. So you're fine, she's fine, and
We're all fine here.
we're all
nothing to
fine
see.
here. And
How are you?
shoot, I'm trying. Sorry, I'm trying to think my way through how to while I'm pondering this, or actually to kind of fuel this, what does this block look like? What do you do? Because it's got to be bigger. It's you know, like I said, swarm, you know, piranha swarm of time bubbles. What does this look like?
So the way that her holograms work is that they're basically creating the illusion of solid matter. And when I say the illusion, I mean like an electromagnetic force in some space.
Sure.
So these bubbles are hitting basically electrons that are then sacrificing their lives to go be accelerated somewhere. So what you probably
For the
see
queen.
is the world's most spectacular thunderstorm right over Disney World as these charged particles suddenly light up the atmosphere.
That's really,
So there's
really
this
cool.
huge, fantastically blue glow. You probably smell ozone. There's just it's like an aurora during the day.
Okay. All right. Um. So so she flings the things at Alicia, and Summer's suddenly there grounding this thing out. Which Alicia's like, that defeats the whole purpose of me drawing the fire away from you. No, but I wouldn't have been able to roll defend to protect myself. Ah, good point.
Other her.
Actually, Alicia, that's the thing. So the fling comes to you, and she leaps in the way and deflects that. And you realize that what's actually happened in this situation is that now nothing is protecting the device. And you can see on Infinity's face, this is what she was going for. Or at least is willing to take advantage of it and is smiling triumphantly when what she was actually really going for was melting your face off. But, you see that triumphant smirk, weirdly familiar triumphant smirk, like gotcha kind of thing. And then she phases, like does a little thing, and appears basically right behind other Summer, main Summer, Summer, at the device. Harry, what do you do?
Harry proceeds to spend the rest of the game running back and forth and back and forth.
Hey, you're a speedster. You bought what you got in the tin was exactly what you paid for. I am simply because you are a speedster. I am giving you the option to see all this craziness and possibly try and do something stupid. Brave. I meant to say brave.
Of course. We're going up against two ultra powerful beings. Everything we do is stupid.
Yeah, that's fair. But I mean, the downside is if you go and do anything there, you're going to be, you can't keep stabilizing, sort of stasisizing, new word, yay. Stasisizing mages, the mages. So.
But that won't matter as much if
I mean, most of the goop is
Infinity takes down
the barrier, certainly.
Barrier.
Yep.
So
if Infinity gets beyond,
oh god. Oh god.
I think. I mean,
Alicia's starting to do something, but it's all very slow.
Slow motion.
Yeah.
As is everything.
Harry. Ooh. No, that's too stupid.
Nothing is too stupid for this moment.
I mean, there's the run up and hit her to distract her, or there's the run up and dive in front of the Summer machine.
Hoping that your anti-friction aura will protect you?
Oh no, just to defend it.
Alright. You can absolutely do that.
I mean,
Um,
it has a higher chance of succeeding.
That's a higher chance of
Which,
success.
if I say that, it's going to not.
I mean, thank you. Thank you for that part.
Knock on wood. But I have a way to help me against the inevitable powerful blow.
Okay. Yep. So yeah, the Infinity is drawing back to like basically do something horrible to possibly just simply punt the Summerbot thing, and you basically interpose yourself and go into like super speed block mode against the time traveler. Are you faster than a time traveler? Let's find out. You are
Oh
largely
my god.
faster than a time traveler.
The summer that's part of the machine can contribute team by modulating the energy that's coming out of the machine to help Harry, if that's possible.
Sure. So okay, that adds. We'll take the team from the pool and that gets it up. Actually, when I'm not. So I want to have Alicia help because Alicia was spotting what was happening.
That sounds good.
If that's cool, and also it's like helping to defend yourself, which is weird. But anyway, Alicia, how can you assist this? It's you can see. You don't even see. There's a certain thing that happens in the air when Harry starts doing something. She said in disgust. That he's about to do something. What are you doing to tip things in this scenario?
I think the best thing I can.
Oh, you also still have an assess question sitting out there, by the way.
Yeah, so I do.
Yeah. But anyway, carry on.
Well, since it's Harry, it should be how can we best end this quickly? But seriously, folks, I'll be here all night. I think the best thing I can do for Harry is provide additional distraction. So
Okay.
while I don't expect an explosive round in Dr. Infinity's face to actually damage her, them, hopefully it will provide some, obscure vision, distraction, annoyance.
Sure. That is absolutely totally fine. It's like, it's like I have all these things, and you know what? I can just shoot him in the face. Bam, bam, bam.
Yeah. When in doubt, shoot in the face. I mean, that's, the rule of the Great Mission, number 12.
All right. So that gets us up to a 10. Harry, you can add team to the pool, take influence. Of course, I could take one out of the pool, but you can add team to the pool. You can take clear condition, whatever you want to do. You actually get in there and block most of it, and eventually some bullets show up and actually like have her attacking sort of blindly. But despite the fact that she's basically cheating and like phasing in through space time on a couple of things, you're actually seeing the phase out happen, expecting the hand to come in someplace else, seeing it happening and go, nope. And just kind of doing the whole like Neo blocking the agents towards the end of the Matrix sort of thing. Not quite that effortlessly, but certainly that effectively, and that helped somewhat by the fact that these bullets are kind of smashing into Infinity's face. I gotta see a whisper here real quick, and then a couple other things happen from that I not sure why there's a Batman carrying a bomb as one of the links, but that's fine.
I just thought Harry could just pick up the device and start running with it, because nothing bad ever happened by running with
a time and space
hypertech.
stabilization device made of hypertech powered by a Kinome. Didn't we do that in episode 12?
We did it at some point.
Okay, I gotta shoot a whisper here real quick, and I know we're running really, really short on time, so 1 sec. All right. So a couple things happen here, one of which I'm not sure is actually going to happen until Bill responds to the thing.
For what it's worth, I asked one of my roommates to go pick up the other one, so
okay.
I'm here.
Yeah. I don't.
If you want to do that, that's fine.
I don't want to. I'm trying to keep up with that because I want the thing, but I'm just trying to figure out how to get us there because you guys are rolling too well to get the effect that you're looking for. So
You're muted, dear.
You did say that you thought this was going to go to another session, so.
Oh, I know it's going to go to another session. Actually, I know exactly what I'm going to end on. Summer, who is in her body, actually, and Alicia. I'm sorry, I'm going to have to do
Who
this.
is not in my body.
Who is not in your body. When this is happening, and the attack is happening, and the bullets are flying, and sort of smashing into Infinity's face, but all this, it kind of starts attacking blind. You both see something that, like, you see the same thing, the same, like, very unexpected thing at the same time, at that moment when Infinity is basically attacking blind. Still incredibly skilled, but kind of going on rote, kind of going on autopilot. Muscle, it's weird to use this terminology in this particular case, but basically going on muscle memory. Okay? Right?
Mm-hmm.
Those attacks, for all that Harry still manages to block them, are links. Right down to the ground. They're links. Moves. And that's where we're going to stop. And we'll figure out all the rest of the logistics of that next session because I'm making a hash of it.
And Joyce, I will shoot you what I have in mind for my moment of truth.
Well, it's I just want to. The problem is there's a thing here that has to happen, but sort of not has to happen, but was set up to happen. And unfortunately, you guys are all so bloody good at protecting each other that I can't get an orbital strike in edgewise. I'm kidding. Anyway, all right. We are not going to do the end of session moves because we're right in the midst of craziness. And also we had a whole
I feel closer to the team for what it's worth.
You can certainly make that statement. Mechanically, we're not going to do anything with it at this point in time.
Everyone feels closer to the team when we're in the middle of combat, I think.
I love you guys. I love that you're not letting me die. I love that all the conditions I'm taking voluntarily. Mostly to protect you guys. I think Summer's taken more conditions than anybody, and she hasn't made an attack yet. Has had to make some rolls though, so I guess that kind of balances out. We will get the thing sorted out. There's a nice cool thing coming. I am 150% behind it. I just, we need to get to where the fiction, supports it, giving us the opening that we need. So there we go. So Magus Everard laying there, sort of in shock, kind of gasping up at the sky. A good portion of his face
half melted off.
Yeah, face half melted off.
More than half the body.
Or all melted off. So.
Yeah. Sorry. Adam just starting to turn around to see what the hell else is going on over there. Summer and Alicia and Harry dealing with Dr. Infinity, who is doing their damnedest to break this machine and get the hell away from you annoying insects. So there we have it. And we will see all of you guys next time for more craziness. Is everyone good for the day after the Monday after Thanksgiving? I don't imagine that would be a problem, but just in case, I will ask.
It's my first day back at work, but other than that,
Then you'll need this. We'll all need this.
I might need